What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com! I've had the opportunity in my career. In 1999, I started at Weider Publications. I got to see some of the greatest bodybuilders. I got to see some of the bodybuilders who I forgot of, like King Kamali, like Craig Titus, who went to jail, still in jail. I've got to train with Dorian Yates. I've had the opportunity to train with Ronnie Coleman. I've trained with Phil the Gift Heath. I've trained with Kai Green. I've trained alongside Quincy Taylor and other large IFBB pros. I've had events with Branch Warren. I've trained alongside Johnny Jackson. I've done a lot of things in my career that a lot of people aren't afforded the opportunity or the blessings to do. And to that, I'm grateful and I'm thankful. I've had a chance to be within the industry from the inside, from manufacturing, to the outside sales, to retail. I've been blessed throughout my career. Throughout that career, I've seen many things. I've seen many great athletes. I have worked with every great athlete you can think of. When I was at Weider, I worked alongside Gunther Schlierkamp. Now, I work alongside Kai Green, Phil Heath. I work alongside other bodybuilders. And I will say that this video is about genetics. I've seen things that no one has seen. I've seen unbelievable markers of genetic greatness. And in this video, I will give you the top 2 genetic freaks in the history of bodybuilding. And it's not who you think it is. Ronnie Coleman is the greatest bodybuilder of all time. I will say that for the record. He's won more Olympias. Sure, Arnold was the greatest overall bodybuilder as far as charisma, as far as acting ability, and as far as taking the sport outside of the niche. However, Ronnie Coleman's reign, Ronnie Coleman's 290 pounds with shredded glutes on stage that I saw with my own 2 eyes at that Olympia in the Weider press box, in the suite, sitting back, talking, and everybody stopped and looked. And there was Ronnie in all his glory. The crowd went silent. Everybody looked. Ronnie turned around. Glutes fanned out. He hit a most muscular. Shit popped we never saw pop before. He hit a rear lat spread. Lights out. Game over. Ronnie is not the most talented genetic freak I have ever seen. Ronnie's not even close. Ronnie's work ethic and training made him who he was. Ronnie had phenomenal genetics, backed by probably the greatest work ethic we've ever seen in any sport. Ronnie's only regret, as we had an article on the content site on Tiger Fitness, is that he didn't train hard enough. He could have gotten more reps on 800-pound deadlifts 3 weeks out from the Olympia. Ronnie thinks he didn't do good enough. He didn't train hard enough. Ronnie is a champion mentally and physically. Genetically, I'll give you a story. It was 2000, I believe it was 2002. It was when Ronnie brought, 2003, 2002 or 2003, when Ronnie brought that package to the stage. I was working at Weider. I was a sales rep, all right? I was in ad sales. And Kevin Lavroni was there. And Kevin's like, hey, I got to go. He had a girlfriend who lived in Sherman Oaks. He's like, hey, can you give me a ride? Yeah, no problem, dude. I live in fucking Sylmar. Just hop on over the 118, take you right over. Cool. Nah, I took the 101. My bad. So, long story short, Kevin gets in my car. Kevin weighed about 175 pounds. Kevin looked like nothing. It was 12 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia. We're talking, and Kevin goes, yeah, I'm going to start prepping for the Olympia tomorrow when I get home. He was 170 pounds. Kevin didn't train for 9 months out of the year. Kevin only trained for 3 to 4 months out of the year. Kevin took time off to be in a rock band. I remember I said, okay, Kevin, you do that. Lo and behold, fast forward. I'm at the Olympia. That motherfucker comes on stage, 245 pounds, shredded, amazing, probably best condition of his life. He put on 70 to 75 pounds of pure lean mass. I don't know You give me all the drugs in the world, I ain't putting on 75 pounds. He did that shit in 12 weeks. Kevin Levrone has the best genetics of all time. And if he would have actually trained, he would have been the most successful bodybuilder of our time. Number one, we have two winners. Kevin Levrone wins. Number two, the gift, Phil Heath. I've trained with Phil. He doesn't train like a pussy. Don't get me wrong. Phil trains hard. But what Phil brings to the stage, his roundness, his muscle bellies, and just the overall look and the 3D look. You train with a Kai Green, you train with Dorian. You see all those guys in person. There is something genetically amazing about the insertions and the build that God gave Phil Heath. And I also know of a story where he did a forearm movement. It was a forearm machine at a gym overseas somewhere. He did it twice and he gained literally an inch on his forearms. Phil Heath is a genetic freak. He is the gift. And I will go down on record as saying if Phil trained as hard as Dorian, Kai, or Ronnie, no one would ever say, Phil should have lost that one. Phil should have lost. If Phil had the work ethic and the training drive of a Kai Green or a Dorian Yates or a Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath could win Olympias till he turns 80 fucking years old. Phil Heath is a freak. He's the gift. And he is the number 2 genetically blessed bodybuilder. The rest, it's a toss-up. Flex Wheeler obviously has to be mentioned in this. Chris Cormier obviously has to be mentioned. I know we get a lot of comments below. Oh, I can't believe you didn't. I'm not mentioning everybody. But I'll tell you what. Flex Wheeler had an amazing build. He had a 3D look. Sean Ray. You could go down the list. But I'm narrowing it down to 2. And that is Phil Heath and Kevin Levrone. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Because my genetics suck, I'm jelly, and that's not a game.